again and welcome to the show. As always, I'm your host, Jason McNeil, and this is Cup of Joe Canada, where conversation lives. Today on the show, I want to discuss Toronto politics. Specifically, I want to talk about housing, public housing, affordable housing, housing in general, because it's getting out of hand, right? Like, it really is becoming a situation where you can't afford a place in Toronto. And specifically when we talk about public housing, it really, like, everything falls on its ass, all right? So the first thing I want to point out, like, listen, I feel like when I say we need to focus on housing, people are going to think, okay, this is a message to the conservative government, right? Like the conservative government needs to invest, or like the conservative people need to understand the importance in investing in things like housing. Now, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it once. Housing, education, and transportation are the building blocks for independence. They're the building blocks for success. They're the building blocks for individuals to have upward mobility in the economic world, okay? Now, I point this out because this is not just a message to conservatives to say we need to invest in housing. This is actually a message to socialists as well. Because Toronto, especially at the city level, City Hall, we have a lot of socialist-minded people. Okay, we have a lot of people that want to push socialism and social services and everything else. And the truth is, we are not doing housing, transportation, and education properly while you talk about let's build a park for $1 billion and let's do this breakfast program and let's do free childcare. And listen, man, you can give all the social services to people you want. If you can't provide the housing, the transportation, and the education, it doesn't make a lick of difference. Look, I think of it like this. Housing is like your fishing rod, right? Education is your fishing line, so you can cast it out there, right? Transportation is the lure. How you get around is going to help you catch those fish, get those jobs, get that education, all right? Now, once you've got these three things, you can do for yourself. You can do a lot for yourself. You can have upward mobility in the economic world. But without these three things, all the socialist programs in the world are not going to help you. You're going to go home to your beat-up apartment that looks like crap and is in a high-crime area, and you don't have any security or safety. Your education, as we provide in Toronto, is not equal, okay? Let's be clear. The way we do fundraising in Toronto and in Ontario is I raise funds for my school, which means if my school is in a rich area, I raise a lot of funds, and that money doesn't get split up among the board. That money is for my school. And my school can get computers and flat screen TVs and whatever we need to make our schooling situation better, to make our experience more efficient. And if I don't live in one of those neighborhoods, then we have a pizza sale and we make a couple $100, and that's going to help us maybe go to the zoo or something. You know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, we call it public education. What that means to me is every school should be the same. Educational opportunity should be the same, but it's not. We don't handle that, just like we don't handle housing, right? So when we look at the housing and we say, okay, well, there's $2.5 billion in repairs that has to be made. I want to caution people, because I think the typical mentality of a person is, well, the person that lives in that place, it's their problem. They want to live in the filth. They want to have not report to the police. They want to not be secure. That's their problem. Let me ask you, would you let someone move in your house and do the same thing? Would you let someone move into a room in your house and be like, well, if they want to rip down the walls and they want to piss on the floor and they want to do all this stuff, it doesn't matter, it's their room. No, because it's your house and it's your property value and it's your land, right? Same thing here. We actually provide a service to impoverished people of housing. We then let that housing deteriorate. We don't keep it secure, and we blame them and say, well, whatever. It's our asset that has deteriorized, that has devalued, that is not worth anything now, right? It's our money that has to go into fixing all of this. And it's, the poor people get displaced or whatever, we still have to fix it. It's not theirs, and we're like happy to say, well, they live there, so they make the problems, and that's their problem. The crime in Toronto housing is not our problem. Yeah, it is our problem. It's our property, it's our problem, and these are residents of our city that don't feel safe because we're not providing safety. So again, I just want to say, we need to focus on things like housing. The fact that we can't get caught up on that, it's a black mark on our city, okay? It's a shame, is what it is. Education, I do believe we need to get more equality out of education. We need more equal opportunity. Listen, you'll see a lot of people on the left, they push this equal outcome idea. That if we just had equality, everyone, the outcomes would be equal. And you would look at like the number of lawyers and it would be exact representation of the racial and gender makeup. And you would look at tech sector and everything else and it would just be all, this is not true. But what is true is everyone should have the equal opportunity to make it, right? I should have an equal opportunity to try out for the NBA and I'm probably not gonna make it. And I'm not going to look at the NBA and be like, well, the racial makeup of the NBA is this, so I think we should fix it and we should make it like this because, you know, it doesn't represent the country. Who cares? This is the makeup of the people that made it in this industry and they're good at it and whatever. It's all good. So I don't know, I'm kind of flying off direction here. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at is, at the end of the day, we need to focus on the main things. And even if, whether you're socialist or conservative or capitalist or communist or whatever you are, the truth is, the things we need to focus on, we need to focus on. And we need to stop looking everywhere else and thinking you can save the world on peripheral means. You can't. You can't make Toronto a socialist city in a capitalist country and fix things for everyone. It won't work. What will happen is you have more poverty, you have more people spinning their wheels trying to, you know, get somewhere that can't get anywhere. And that's it. What we need to do is give people the building blocks to succeed. Let's make their education equal. Let's make transportation, and that includes roads, fix the damn roads, okay? I'm sick of people talking about, let's tear down the Gardner because it's falling apart. It's falling apart because we didn't maintain it. We didn't maintain it because a socialist guy decided, you know what, we don't need to put money into the road, let's put money into this program and that program and this program. And now that the bill on the roads is up, people are like, well, we should just tear down the road. That may be a reasonable case at the moment, but if we look at how we got there because we don't, as a society, focus on the necessary things. That's it. So, from my perspective, we need to put a lot more focus on education, on transportation, and on housing, specifically housing, because I find it just a travesty that we can't provide security and safety and like a roof over people's heads in a country of this means. Like with the people, we have this much wealth and this much resources and ability to you know, do things, and we can't make housing proper in a big city. That seems insane. Anyway. That's how I feel about it. I'd love to know how you guys think. It's Cup of Joe Canada. It's www.cupofjoecanada.com. Or you can get me on the Twitter or on the, Instagram. It's @CupofJoeCanada.